A simple shopping expedition is no longer a pleasant pastime for Iranians. It's not only the prices for imported goods which have shot up since the US reimposed sanctions, paralysing Iran's foreign trade. Prices for groceries and other basics are also skyrocketing. The country's currency, the rial, is also depreciating rapidly. Those lucky enough to have access to dollars or euros are best off. In Tehran's Grand Bazaar, the anger is palpable. If the situation remains like this, we'll have to leave Iran. We're trying very hard to get out of the country. Definitely. There's no future here. As you can see, Iranians need bread rather than nuclear programs. They want their economic situation to improve. The point is that you can't fill up your kids' bellies with nuclear energy. The new US sanctions also make it practically impossible for German companies to do business with Iran. Firstly, because hardly any banks are willing to handle the payments, leaving the Iranians with no way to pay the invoices. And also because Washington has threatened retribution against any companies which continue to do business with Tehran. Out of the many companies which set out to rekindle their old business relationships as soon as EU sanctions against Iran were repealed, only 60 are left. And they're more or less just keeping an eye on the situation on the ground rather than actually doing any business there. Companies like Multivac, a German mid-sized company and global leader in food packaging. During previous sanctions, it was still able to offer maintenance services to its Iranian clients to keep their often decades-old machinery running. But this time around, not even that much is possible. Any activity in Iran could cause incalculable damage to Multivac elsewhere. Cut off from the outside world with rampant inflation and unemployment rising, the lives of ordinary Iranians become harder by the day.
Adnan Tabatabai is director of the think tank Capo. Adnan, say we get to Sunday and Iran's deadline for getting the US to ease sanctions passes, what can we expect?
What we will have to expect is that Iran means business. That means that they will exceed the limit of 3.67% grade of enriched uranium. And this will certainly further complicate the whole discussion about the nuclear agreement or the JCPOA. And we have to expect that a whole new wave of blame game between Iran, Europe, and the US will unsettle.
Now, the sanctions have been in place for months. You were just there. What impact did you see on the people?
You can see immediate impacts that the food prices, as we have seen in your report, are going up. Any goods that are imported from the outside, the prices are spiking. We can see mid and long-term effects in the way that people are losing confidence in the future. There is a lot of uncertainty as to where the economy of this country is going to, and that uncertainty is really hard for people to digest.
So just how badly has the economy been hit, would you say?
I mean, the Iranian economy has not really been in good shape anyways before that, but the new sanctions regime is certainly exacerbating that economic malaise. So we have corruption and mismanagement that has been there before, and sanctions are just making it even worse than that. There is no sense of the collapse of the economy, but at least there is a lot of hardship.
Now, just lastly, Trump's strategy is to use these sanctions to turn the Iranians against the government. That's his strategy. Is it working?
That is certainly not working for a couple of reasons. First, because the Iranians are realizing that it's not just their own government that can be blamed for corruption and mismanagement, but also the outside world, namely the US, for the sanctions. Secondly, people who live under economic hardship do not have the time for political activities or to be active in any sort of movement. They have to make their needs, they have to try to meet the needs of their everyday lives. So they are much more busy with these questions, and the Iranian establishment has been always capable of feeding those who are in most need. So we cannot really expect that the people will turn against the government there. But certainly the hardship is felt, and the two sides are blamed, their own government as well as the US.
Adnan Tabatabai, director of the think tank Capo, on those sanctions and how they're hitting the Iranian economy. Thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.